This video is the first of my series of book reviews. So I'm starting off with a fiddle book, which is the Matt Cranitch Irish Fiddle Tunes book. Excellent book. We'll have a little look at it. I'll play some tunes and see how you get on. I hope you find this useful. Many of my pupils have enjoyed this book and continue to do so. This is an excellent book in many different ways. Starts off as a teaching sort of book, first half, and it's very effective in terms of introducing the fiddle and its various bits and pieces in what makes the fiddle go. Introducing music, so it's got all the information you need to learn to read music effectively at a sufficient level for folk fiddling. And then very rapidly we get on to doing rhythms and understanding rhythms, how to finger on the violin, and then we move into introductory tunes. So instead of like a lot of teaching books, you might have to start off with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. This takes you straight into some absolutely fine Irish traditional tunes, and they're good versions, very clearly printed. You do get a CD with the more modern books. Mine's rather old, came with tapes. So if you're going to buy a second-hand one, make sure that you're getting CDs ideally. So then after the teaching section, the initial teaching section takes you into ornamentation and different types of tunes, whether it's reels, jigs, hornpipes. Explain some historical background to the different types of tunes. There's historical pictures that show you all sorts of information about the past and old fiddlers who are no longer with us. So the sections of different types of tunes, they show you the different rhythms, the different ornaments appropriate to each type of tune, whether it's a hornpipe or a jig or a reel or a polka. And then they recommend bowing techniques to achieve each one, and they'll show you a tune with no ornamentation and another version of the same tune ornamented. So it's quite well explained throughout. And then we'll have the final section is more performance tunes and some O'Carroll material. The second half of the book is the repertoire section, and it's pretty good too. 101 tunes in different sections, all the different types of dances, and some set pieces at the end and some O'Carroll. So all of the repertoire is totally lacking in bowing and ornamentation, so that you add that on depending on how your style has developed. So that's what the bowing and ornamentation is really about, is incorporating bits of it into your style so that you start adding it in without having it written down anywhere, since the ornamentation should really come from your the way you want to perform it. So the ornamentation on Irish fiddling wants to feel like it's part of your natural style and appropriate for whichever dance type tune you're doing, whether it's 2/4 polka or any of the different sorts of jigs, 6/8, 9/8, 12/8. And then there are some set piece airs at the end, which are open to wide interpretation. They were probably never meant to be written down on musical manuscript, so this is just a snapshot, and you put into the performance whatever you feel is suitable. So really good book. I'm going to demonstrate a couple of tunes as part of this video, and there are, might have other videos you can look at which already include some of these tunes. So anyway, hope you find that useful. This is a good book, I do recommend it. It's good value as a book about learning to folk fiddle in the Irish sort of style. Here's a couple of the beginner tunes. So there's one called the Kerry Polka, which actually comes up in Morris dancing sort of English music as Egan's Polka, often written in a different time signature and key. But anyway, this is a good tune. I use it loads and I use it a lot for teaching. I'll just take the mute off. So here we go. Here's a slow tune from the beginner's section of the Matt Cranitch Irish book. Got the name in Gaelic, it also says Philimi's boat. I think there's a song with this, but I don't know what happened to his boat. Anyway, here's the slow sort of air. It's got bowing in there, but it's fairly clearly printed, so it's very readable for a beginner with guidance from a teacher. So we go 1, 2, 3. So here's a couple of versions of Ornaments Rambles. This is early in the jig section of the Matt Cranitch book. So the first one has no ornamentation on. So that's the idea of the way the book works. Often they give you a blank version, maybe it's got a bit of bowing in, and then they'll give you an ornamented version for comparison. So we'll do the blank version first. I'll try not to put ornamentation in, which I normally would do. So this is the ornamented version of Ornaments Rambles. I'll put in the ornamentation that's in the book, and I'll probably slip in a few bits that just come out of the way I play. So it's got cuts and double cuts in it, which is a particular type of ornament. The ornaments are described in quite a lot of detail in the Matt Cranitch Irish book. Best teaching book on this I've seen, actually. So that's the end of this review of the Matt Cranitch Irish book. It's good value, it's good for beginners, possibly with the guidance of a teacher to take you forward, but all the information's there for you to learn to read music, learn to play the fiddle, and learn to play in an Irish folk sort of way. So, good book.